Misery is the river of the world. Tom Watts. My name is Edwin Soto. My topic is going to be evil. Evil is going to be the topic that I'm going to be analyzing in this PowerPoint. I'm going to be asking the basics, which are the who, what, where, and whys of the topic, and also giving details from my perspective. All right, my first topic is the who. Who is evil? Evil is not necessarily a person, it is more like a act. For example, when someone tells you that you are evil, they are just saying that you are immoral and malevolent. Or when someone says the world is stalked by relentless evil is also another example. When someone is committing acts that are malevolent and wicked, then that person will be viewed as evil. Evil is an act, but also an emotion that anyone is capable of having, from a baby to a grown man. For whatever reason it might be, everyone that is overwhelmed with this emotion has different reasons why. What is evil? Immoral and malevolent are what makes someone evil, but we use our judgment skills when declaring that someone is evil. But what if that person does not know he is evil or truly doesn't believe what he or she is doing is evil? Let me explain. When we condemn someone to death row and it's time to take their life, we usually don't think about the person killing the prisoner, now do we? What makes him exempt from being evil? How do we not know that the person sentenced to death is innocent after all? Does killing someone for doing wrong make you right? I bet if you asked the officer or doctor who stuck the needle in the person's arm, he or she wouldn't think anything about it. But that person's relatives watching him or her die will say that you are the evil one. Alright. The first thing that usually pops up in your mind when you mention evil is Satan, the angel that fell from the heavens and condemns all souls to burn in hell for eternity. He is evil itself because of his treachery to God and persuading man to commit acts of evil, such as the story of Adam and Eve. What that story shows is that you can be evil yourself for telling others to do evil things such as murder and being a thief. Robin Hood was a thief who stole from the rich and gave to the poor. Would his acts be considered evil? They sure were immoral, but were they malevolent? Evil is said to come with a God. As stated in chapter 3, evil is also said to be there so you can better appreciate the good. St. Augustine once said that if nothing bad ever happened, then how would we ever be able to appreciate the good? And that without evil, how will we know what is good? According to philosophers, God allows evil to exist to benefit people. The first idea is that pain is a necessary part of the body called evil. What's actually called the nervous system, and that's its job. The second idea is the one I mentioned about St. Augustine's, which seems more logical compared to the last one. But even if it is true, it only explains what evil God allows into the world. Third one would be that evil is a punishment for wrongdoing. What's wrong about that idea is that innocent people still suffer from cancer and other diseases. So the idea that millions of people deserve cancer is not valid. The fourth idea, the idea that I agree with the most, which is evil is a result of human free will. The reason I agree with the topic so much is because it's very accurate to me. Human free will comes from many places and affects a lot of people. One great example is slavery. Because humans had free will, they chose to enslave other human beings against their free will. Now because of that, millions of African Americans have a psychological scar that affects them daily. War comes from free will of trying to move your own agenda against other countries. Many of the most horrible things you can imagine come from free will itself. The last idea is that the idea of evil is necessary for the development of moral character. Evil only makes evil, so the idea that something good will come out of killing someone's loved one is absurd, if you ask me. When is evil? Some people say that money is the root of all evil. Was evil born as soon as the first gold coin was made? Probably not. Evil doesn't really have a when unless you put a time frame on it. You could say a murderer was only evil when he committed the act, and he might not be evil 20 years later after the crime. You could also say that living conditions might have had an impact on his life. People who grow up in a hostile environment tend to become hostile themselves. I read a book called A Long Way Gone when I was in the 10th grade. The book was about a kid in Africa being forced to be a soldier and kill people. In that time, you could say that he was evil, murdering people, innocent or guilty. After I read the book, I found out he wrote the book 20 years later in New York. He has been living there for several years and has not had a problem since he moved there. Why is it evil? Is a hurricane evil? No. Why not? Is it not immoral to kill the innocent? Technically it is, especially when you put a name like Katrina on a hurricane, personificating it. Hurricane Katrina ruined thousands of lives, so why is it not evil? How about a dog? Is a dog not evil after attacking a little girl riding her bike, or is it just responding to its instincts? Animals kill every day, and we never say they are evil. We just say that they are animals, and that's what they do. How did it get evil? Most of our worst criminals had a tragic and rough upbringing. If you were raped as a child, wouldn't that affect you every day? How about if you were bullied? One of the top 10 child serial killers killed a child 7 years younger than him, and it all came from him being bullied in school. In the movie Insidious, the woman in the black dress is actually a man who kills women because his mom made him dress as a woman when he was young and she would mistreat him. No one is born evil. Maybe bad, but not evil. What shapes you into that are external variables that life brings to you.